In today's society, we have a problem which has reached epidemic proportions. Crime has become a way of life, and we are victims, or we live in fear of it. The reasons for this are many. Today, we will examine one of the causes. On this show, you will learn about candy criminals.
I'll be right with you. Got to close up shop for this episode. You are in the realm of the shadow band, and you are watching Extreme Narcissism TV. We saw the title. Let's drain the swamp ourselves. We're gonna have to do it for ourselves. A lot of things to talk about. I wrote notes, and probably each one of my notes I could branch off in several different directions. We're gonna get into it. At its essence, what is this about? The stuff with Trump denying the Epstein files and the FBI denying the Epstein files, and everything that I'm gonna unpack that you probably already heard about from several different videos. When they call it trafficking, that's a dehumanizing word. What we're talking about is children in terminal sexual servitude. It's not beautiful young ladies, it's teenage girls, and it's kids. They're not grown-ups. It's younger. It's probably babies are, you know, for some. So it's not trafficking, okay? It's slavery of children, and it's sexual slavery right up front. So everybody's screaming about it. Every comedian has a take, and I've already seen a couple compilations of comedians' takes on this. As soon as I heard what the president said about this, and there's been multiple different things that he's said since, you know, before I record this video, I saw some of the things he said, and he's like, oh, why don't you forget about it already? And, you know, if you talk about it, you're a loser. And, you know, like, he's just openly pledging his allegiance to the elite, saying, I'm letting the world know that I got your back. And it's disgusting. But I told you that he wasn't a good guy, along with a lot of other people. There's been too much predictive programming that guy would be president. There's some weird stuff. There's Simpsons, that Trump would be president. Go watch, you can find one of those videos. There's some weird stuff about Donnie Darko and Trump. There's Back to the Future 2 with President Biff. There's Gremlins 2 with Clamp Towers, and I think at some point in Gremlins 2 he talks about how he's going to run for president or whatever. And I think there's other things that are predictive programming that guy would be president. Have you seen the video where it has Epstein and Trump together when Trump's a younger guy? They're both younger. They look like they're palling it up. He looks like he's like, look at all the women, like they look like wolves on the prowl, right? You know, Trump is like, it's not a good, he doesn't look good when he's hanging out palling around with Jeffrey Epstein. Now I know that, you know, politicians can lie and stuff, but one of the platform of Trump was, we're going to drain the swamp. And now he has the opportunity to drain the swamp, and as you've already seen from my images, draining the swamp has been canceled, and the water's just going to get more stagnant. But it's a big message to the world that we're just going to completely ignore this thing that we're already well aware that everybody knows about, and we just want you to forget about it. And they even tried to do a diversion. I'm going to bring Texas into this. Did you see about the floods in Texas? It makes me think of North Carolina. When North Carolina happened, they said this is completely unnatural. And when Texas happened, they said the same thing. Now we know that geoengineering is fact because rich Saudi royals shoot barium rockets into the sky and they make it rain so that they can have lawns and vegetation in the desert because they're that rich. Talk about baller players with lots of riz. They shoot barium enemas into the clouds and it rains. That's just fact. We also have the NASA cloud machine. Go look up NASA cloud machine video on YouTube. Maybe I wanted to put it in here, but I don't think I'm going to put it. I have like slides and stuff for if you want. I have images for this video. I'm going to talk about the red shoes because I have a vacation video of the red shoes from 2008. So this stuff has been substantiated to me for a long time. Oh, that's nothing. It's false. What did Trump say? Oh, it's Obama's plot to, you know, to make me look bad. Is in essence what he's saying without saying it directly. He's like, that's just a plan of the liberals. Don't believe him. But it's bullshit. You know that guy. You know that the president's up Israel's ass, and it's not a good thing. Go watch my Dark Crystal video. That will definitely be linked in this video, and I may even link that funky Donnie Darko video. I mean, the Donnie Darko video. If you have. It is weird. It's strange. So the Donnie Darko Trump connection, I know people can get into their gematria or whatever it is, the number stuff and numerology, and they go crazy, right? But the Donnie Darko Trump video is weird because that will be linked. It's like a 24-minute video, and it includes like Back to the Future clips and stuff. That's weird. And what makes that especially weird to me is that the director of Donnie Darko also made a movie called Southland Tales. It's starring The Rock, and it's the Rock movie that nobody has seen. And it's so weird that you do have to decode it. And to understand what the movie was about, I can't remember the director's name. It's Richard something, I think. So anyway, the director of the movie had a bunch of comic books, and to help the movie make more sense, you had to read the comics. And what Southland Tales is about is America after nukes have been dropped, or, you know, hydrogen bombs, really, probably, right? So it's like an end of the world movie. So is Donnie Darko, but there's all kinds of weird, like, talk about a movie to decode. Go find somebody's analysis of decoding what Southland Tales is about, because I have the DVD, but I couldn't even tell you. The red shoes drove home to me. Nobody was talking about shoes made out of human children's skin back in 2008. It was just a weird video that I was on vacation. There was a couple different places that had these red shoes, and in red shoes and bird cages and checkerboard floors underneath the shoes, and I was like, what's that about? Well, you know, if it had come out like 2016, you'd say, oh, that's just Q and nonsense, forget it. No, it's my travel video from when I was in Amsterdam, I think, in 2008. So I thought it was just like art installation, you know, like modern art. And it was like, okay, somebody spray painted a lot of shoes red and put them in bird cages and have checkerboard floors underneath it. It's just modern art. Well, no, there's just too much other red shoes shit. I mean, there's like a red shoes club and all those good Podestas in it. There's so much stuff packed into this. I hope you're still here. When I was in Amsterdam in September on the 6th, 2008, I was traveling and I took pictures and video, and one of the things that was weird is like, hey, look at that building over there. They got all this pile of red shoes with the black and white checkerboard on the floor, and then look, they've got a pair of red shoes in a cage. That's weird, right? And then
you see that the shoes are, okay, they're spray painted red. Okay, that's kind of weird, right? And then, you know, what I noticed was people kept looking at them. You know, like stop and look. So you got, I don't know, some kind of graffiti or something on the door. But look, there's shoes in a cage. And there it says a sign, it says LLDC. I don't know, somebody's graffiti tag. And there's some tags on the wall there. And I don't know what this building is. Rob, who is that guy? Rob DeJours. And that's all there's in the picture. I can't show anymore. So let's scroll back out. There we go. So I also have a video. Because look, here it is. Amsterdam, September 6, 2008. Wait, how to make it play. Hold on, I gotta get it going for you. There it is, look. The people are like, what are they doing? What's with the shoes? Yeah, I don't know what it's about. What do you think?
You saw Kash Patel. Look at the guy's face. That's the director of the FBI. Before he was director of the FBI, he said, look, we got all this information. Just wait till they drain the swamp. It's going to be great. And then when you see the guy's face now, it looks like he's caught in the headlights. What? Every time there's a picture of him or a video, he just looks like this, like his eyes are wide open. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. It's nothing, I guess. Just forget about it. The guy looks nuts. If you see videos of him before he became director of the FBI, he didn't look like that. He looks like a normal, rational guy. And what's with bringing all of, like, do you see how, like, oh, we're going to talk about India, so we have to put all these players on the board, and there'll be people from India, and they'll be, you know, like, they'll put them in our lives because they want us to think about that. Then Elon's talking about, well, we got to go to India, basically because they couldn't have Chinese, again, slaves. So, you know, we'll have guys from India do all that stuff with the AI and everything. Because it's cheap labor. So he's like, oh, you know what? Indian guys are just smarter than these American white guys, because he doesn't want to say anything about other races. America's a melting pot. I thought people from all over the place are here. He's picking on, oh, the white guys aren't smart enough in America. Okay, what about the other many different races of people in America? You don't have smart guys, Indian guys in America? Yeah, they came here from India. So it's not, I'm not trashing India. I'm just saying, look at Kash Patel's face. Okay? Elon said Trump's in the files, and that's why they won't release him. So you want to release the files, and Trump says, forget about the files, and you know what, if you want to hear the files, you're a loser. Look at the serious stuff we've got going on. We've got Texas. Look at the floods in Texas. And you know, the thumbnails I saw right away with floods in Texas where these floods aren't natural. And YouTube doesn't, YouTube does not have an algorithm on my searching because I never give it any data. I watch YouTube from a VPN, not signed in. And when I'm signed in, I upload videos. And that's it. So YouTube doesn't know what I like. And every time I sign into YouTube, it says, maybe you'd like to watch something so that we could suggest stuff to send you. So I'm on top of that one. They don't know what to give me, and I'm keeping it that way. I know what I want to look for, although it probably would send me more things I was interested in along with the AI slop that's being made. But, you know, I'll look it up and see what I can find, because I find plenty of good stuff without YouTube knowing anything about what I might like. So, but then Elon said, what happened to Elon? He said Trump's on is in the Epstein files. That's why they're not releasing him. And then he got a black eye, because that's the initiation. You know about this. Joe Rogan's on a boat. He's on a yacht. It's almost like you got a heads up. Hey, just go away and don't talk about the Epstein stuff. Go on a vacation. Go on a yacht or whatever. Is it his yacht? Does Joe Rogan have a yacht? I don't know. Anyway, Joe Rogan's on a yacht, so he's not podcasting about it, because this would be, all the other comedians are talking shit about it like right away. I've seen some fun, it's really not funny takes. They're sharp and they're witty, but I wouldn't say that they're laughing about it. They're disgusted. The stuff that Tim Dillon said, I've seen. The comedians I don't even like had good takes. Like Andrew Schultz had a pretty decent take, and they're sitting with the tinfoil hats on. I've seen these things. And well done. And it's just like, yeah, it's part of, I would say it's part of like maybe a demotivational demoralization campaign. We're just going to deny that it's real because it's too big. Remember when Prince Andrew was with Virginia in those photos? I can't remember her last name, you know, rest her soul, because apparently she shuffled herself off this mortal coil before, you know, she's dead now. And that was Virginia, that was with Prince Andrew. And what happened to Prince Andrew when he was accused with the Epstein stuff? The Queen said, "You're retired from public life," and then Prince Andrew retired from public life. I just want to give one little, and there's pictures of him with that girl that has now gone, that they said that she shuffled herself off this mortal coil, which is probably some bullshit, obviously, right? So, what did Prince Andrew say that makes me disgusted about him? He said, "If reincarnation was real, I'd wish to be reincarnated as a virus, and I'd kill as many people as possible because there's too many people." He's disgusting. That's a disgusting statement for a prince to make. He'd be reincarnated, like nobody asked him. He just offered it. He said he would kill a lot of people if he could as a virus, if reincarnation was real. That's just disgusting. Okay, there's Prince Andrew for you. Did you ever see my videos on Prince Charles, who's now King Charles? Did you ever see his taste in art? Yeah. He loves any art that uses real human cadavers. And there were scandals about this over the years. Did they wipe that from the internet, or you can still find out Prince Charles scandals where he supported an artist who did these eerily realistic castings in bronze, and he was just, the guy was arranging dead bodies and then making castings of them into bronze, and they were using real dead bodies. So there was real dead bodies cast in like bronze or whatever metals, and they were hanging on the facades of buildings. You know, they were part of the decorations of the buildings. That's gross. And then he was an advocate of that plastinization, where they take cadavers and they have a process where they fill them with plastic, and then they cut them into ribbons, and then they make art exhibits that travel around of real dead bodies. And some of them are children, some of them are animals, some of them, and it's humans. And it's disgusting. Where they do like vivisections of things. Did you ever see that movie The Cell with Jennifer Lopez, where they vivisect the horse? Yeah, like that's the plastinization. Go look up plastinization and be disgusted, because they're real dead bodies that are plasticized. Or is it called plastination? I think it's actually called plastination. So anyway, Joe Rogan, they said, just go away on a boat and don't be doing your podcast the day of. That's my opinion of it. He probably got a heads up. Hey, we don't talk about this. Just we want you to go have a nice time on the boat, because we're gonna release the information that says Trump's pledging his allegiance to the elites, and he's gonna defend them because it's too big. The Diddy verdict. Before they had the verdict, people were saying, no, he's gonna get off. Nothing's gonna happen to him. So they did the Diddy verdict, and they said it was possible that he could spend like 2 years in jail or something. I can't remember what it was, but the point is that he got away with it, no matter what time they told him he'd have to do. And we know that when Epstein went to jail before, that he was allowed to leave his prison cell for business between certain hours of the day. So when some guys go to jail for stuff, they're not really in jail, or it's just like you have to stay home. It's like house arrest kind of thing. Which was something that when Epstein was alive that he did have to go through before, because this is numerous times this has come up. I remember years ago when everybody knew about Epstein, but it wasn't reported on like ABC News in America, or it wasn't like people were talking about it online, but it wasn't on the regular news. And I saw his island burning, and they said, yeah, he spent $28 million to get rid of his basement on Little St. James Island. So what, do you remember that? Did you know about that? There's video of it. I probably have it on a file somewhere. Yeah, they were melting down his basement at $28 million. They even knew how much it cost. You could see it burning. Why Pam Bondi, she said there's thousands of hours of tape and it's incriminating, and it's like thousands of hours is lots of hours. When they went into Epstein's house, they said, oh, look, there's cameras in the bathrooms, there's cameras in the bedrooms, there's cameras everywhere. That's not good. But now it's just nothing. Oh, it's nothing. I'll tell you what it is. It's The Godfather 1 and 2. Remember the Godfather movies? It's like if you like Sopranos, you watched any of that stuff, or any of these, like the Meth Show, what's it called, Breaking Bad, or it's The Godfather pointed it out a long time ago, like in the 70s, right? That's Francis Ford Coppola, and it was saying it was blackmail and bribes. You get people compromised, you get photos, you get whatever you need, and then that's how things run. Like it was letting you know, like the way that you thought The Godfather was just about the mob. No, like they were influencing politicians, and that's how Hollywood movies works. They get, and even Dave Chappelle said something about like how they would try and trap people, and then you got to play ball. I'm just gonna move on because there's so many things I want to say that I don't want to stay stuck there. So everybody knows that it's bullshit, and they just want us to forget about it. So they already have a distraction. It's one of the things Trump used. He's like, there's so much going on. It's just Obama is a set of trap, and there's nothing in the files, even though like we know that there is. And they were giving out, remember they were giving out the folders, and people had the folders and like, wow, wait till you see what we have in our folders. And now they say it's nothing. It's nothing. And he said, just, where was I going with this? He just said forget about it. He just said, oh, we have real problems now. There's a war, there's Texas, and I was like, yeah, that's a distraction. But I also think when they knew that this was probably not going to go down well, but it had to be a show. Trump had to show where his allegiances were, which is with the wealthy elite whose fortune shaped the fates of nations, or with that state founded in the desert out in 1948. And I remember I was thinking, oh wow, what'd they do to Palestine? Like what happened over in Palestine that they're denying? Oh, there's no Epstein files. It's nothing. It's nothing. I mean, first the FBI director, the Patel guy, he said that first on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan was like, okay. And then, the president comes out and says it, and they know that everybody's gonna think he's a bad guy. I'm like, let's just see if they believe me. They don't. Eyes Wide Shut. When that movie came out, people were like, oh, they do all these weird, they have these sexy parties, and that's what people talked about. Hey, the Eyes Wide Shut party. And they were like, yeah, that's probably real. But now that movie's so old, and Stanley Kubrick died like before it was even done being edited or something, I think. Didn't Spielberg step in? Or was that he took over the movie AI? Kubrick was going to do AI next, but then Spielberg did it or something. I can't remember. But anyway, Kubrick died. He made Eyes Wide Shut, and then he was dead. And well, look at what's in Eyes Wide Shut. The pizza stuff's in there. There's a box of pizza, and Lily Sobieski, I'm not even sure if that's the right name, but you know who that is, right? She's playing a girl, like a teenager in the movie, and her dad sells her to the Japanese businessmen, and then you say, oh, that's what's going on. Like, it's all, like, you have to sell your daughter into this stuff to join the club, and everybody's in it. And if you've seen Eyes Wide Shut, then you can speculate whether or not Nicole Kidman actually was the one that, she comes from this world of the Eyes Wide Shut parties, and she's bringing Tom Cruise into it because it's her husband, because she grew up in that stuff probably. And then he's thinking like this, it's the movie Eyes Wide Shut. People, when it came out, they weren't thinking about it the way that they do now. Now Eyes Wide Shut has been decoded, and a lot of that has to do with the emails and the pizza party stuff and Pizzagate, and Macaulay Culkin was in the Pizza Underground, which is a weird thing. He had a band called the Pizza Underground. He was obsessed. All the songs were about pizza, and Macaulay Culkin's theme song for Bunny Ears is very strange. Bind me, gag me, take me to the bunny ranch, kill me in the packing house. That's the lyrics to Macaulay Culkin's podcast theme show. And it's called Bunny Ears. And if you see a t-shirt for his podcast, it's a rabbit's skull and a rabbit's head inside of an upside down bloody pentagram, like the Satan worshipping pentagram. Bunny Ears. That's Macaulay Culkin's podcast. You know, Michael Jackson and Macaulay Culkin, they were best buds when Macaulay Culkin was like 11 or 9, and Michael Jackson was in his 30s. They're like best friends. They have sleepovers all the time. You see what I mean? All this stuff's weird. Even before there was Eyes Wide Shut, there was Jim Henson's Labyrinth. Was Labyrinth not the last movie that Jim Henson made? Jim Henson said he wanted to make a movie for teenage girls because there wasn't any. And in Jim Henson's Labyrinth, Sarah Connolly is taken to an Eyes Wide Shut party by David Bowie. And he's trying to seduce her there. And everybody knows what's up and they're laughing, and she's the only one that's there, and she's like, where am I? That's Eyes Wide Shut. I could intercut videos of images. Maybe I'll do images. I'm gonna intercut some images of Eyes Wide Shut stuff with Labyrinth, and you can see how they blend together rather well. Labyrinth was from from the 80s. It was a children's movie. She goes into the labyrinth to get her baby brother, and she gets seduced by David Bowie, and he takes her to an Eyes Wide Shut party. Before Eyes Wide Shut. I mean, it's very transparently, you can see what's going on. And Jim Henson in interviews said he wanted to make it for his daughter. He had to warn her about Eyes Wide Shut parties or something. It's weird. Left wing, right wing, it's the same bird. That bird's a turkey vulture. Yeah, I mean, this shit's real. Like, we can't just ignore it. I mean, if there was anything to get people on, you know, your left wing or right wing, it doesn't matter. This is about children being made into sex slaves, is in essence what this is about. This isn't about like, he tries to get the young pretty girls. No, they're children, and it's boys too. And there's all the Podesta stuff. And then there's the guy, who's the guy that was at Penn State and he was a coach? I can't remember that guy's name. He was a coach at Penn State, and then when they caught him, he's like, I can't help it. I just love kids. And he just was like, he went to another place and he just, you know, dissociated or whatever. And he's like, it was the Penn State scandal, which was about the boys, and they had revealed him. Then there's all the stuff with the church, with the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholic Church. You know that Vatican City is the age of consent. I think it's been raised to 14. Raised to 14. Who lives in Vatican City? Clergy, right? That's strange. It's horrifying. I don't know, like, all this shit's real. This is kind of a thing you can't ignore. So, also one of the things I've been thinking is, well, shit, what are they gonna do next? You know, like, you think about, like, okay, we're gonna deny the Epstein files, so we'll try and make Texas a distraction, you know, by hurting a lot of people in Texas, because everybody's talking Texas this and Texas that, right? It's the biggest state. And they say that flooding's unnatural. But when they deny that the Epstein files are real and that there aren't any, there's nothing, that it's just a big nothing muffin, What else did they do somewhere else? Or if this doesn't work, what are they going to try and do next to say, okay, they're not stopping talking about it. Give them something to, give them something else. Well, that's where prayers come in, where you can pray against this kind of stuff. Pray for cracks and tears in their plans, that their plans would fail. Take it to God. I really do mean this sincerely and truly. When you don't know what else to do, you can pray to God, and that might be something you're underestimating the power of. You don't underestimate the power of your own prayers to affect change in the world. A lot of people are going to be praying about this very thing. And you're like, well, how do I pray about this? Pray that their plans be ruined, and that the evildoers be exposed, and that they not get away with it. I mean, ultimately, nobody gets away with anything. God is the judge. But say, no, Lord, don't let them get away with this down here in earthly life, and don't let them be able to retaliate. And whatever they try to do to retaliate, to squash this, destroy their plans, and don't make their retaliation fail. So, when you think about war, Iran, Palestine, and now this, and it being denied, makes me think, what's next? Well, pray that it fail. I really do mean that. Like, pray that it fail. Pray that the evildoers be exposed, shamed, and humiliated, and that they be incapacitated, unable to retaliate, to do anything against the people. And pray that we could live lives of peace and dignity, because we're the people of Revelation 20. So there's a lot of stuff that's already happened in the past. Whether it's in your and my lifetime or not, the big part of where we are in the book of Revelations would be the battle of Gog Magog. But we don't know when that is. And we don't know necessarily where we're going. We can look at the trend of things, but when we see the trend of things and that it's not good, that's when God has told us, hey, pray. And if you look at the example in the Old Testament, there was awful things that God said, these things are going to befall you, repent. And then people did repent. Maybe it was the leader. Leaders were different in the past. Now it seems our leaders are conspiring against us for one world government. It sounds like some Burning Man shit, but it's terrible. And they tell us we'll eat the bugs and that we won't own anything and that we'll love it. Not having a choice, not having any choices isn't loving it. So pray that they not take away any more of whatever civil liberties we still have or freedoms, and that we can get these things back. They say, oh, once they're taken away, you can't get them back again. Bullshit. Or B-A-A-L-S-H it. So we're supposed to pray for the outcome that we would want. Please, Lord, I pray for the redemption of those who can be redeemed, save those who can be saved. But it also says in the Psalter, open the pit, Lord, send them down alive into hell. The Psalter teaches us how to pray, and we can pray the Psalter. And some of those prayers are pretty, like let them be food for the jackals, stuff like that. I mean, we're supposed to love our neighbor as ourselves. We're supposed to bless those who curse us. And if, the President of America is saying, forget about the Epstein files, it's nothing, when the platform for him becoming president the first time was that he was going to drain the swamp. And I was like, forget about the swamp. It's okay. Don't you want to go hang out in the swamp or whatever? No, he's like, forget about the swamp. It's a swamp. Why would you hang out there? The water's stagnant. It's full of bugs. There's nothing in there. It's nothing. Except the dead bodies of children that have been eaten and skinned after they've been abused. It's a ruiner. Look at the damage that people that grow up having childhood sexual abuse, look at they carry this around for lives. I mean, people go on, they have their lives, but it's like, what's one of the worst things you can do? Everybody agrees it's stuff, when you do stuff to hurt kids. And what's the way to really mess them up? You give them stuff that's evil. You do that shit to them. And a lot of them don't make it out alive. And they're all into this devil stuff. So it's not just child sexual servitude. It's satanic child sexual servitude. They're offering up their blood. It's nothing new. It's the oldest business that there is. Human sacrifice. Kali Ma Shuk the day. Pull the guy's heart out, eat it, offer it up to demons, and you'll get... What do you want to know? You want more science and technology? You want to perfect AI? Send more babies. They co-opt us into it. Planned Parenthood, it's like a known thing that they take the dead babies, which could have been somebody, right? They send the soul back to God, and what happens to the body? They sell it for parts, for whatever they do with those parts. And that's disgusting. That's just how Planned Parenthood does. I've seen the itemized list. It's like, it's probably more with inflation and everything. It's like, here's $150 for a pair of arms, like a liver or something, or kidneys is like almost $1,000, and the body parts, like, here's, you want 2 arms, 2 legs. They itemize the parts. Here's how much a brain costs, you know, from an unborn fetus. It's disgusting stuff. It's the same old BAALSH it. It's just they're bringing it back. They're bringing back the horns, and, you know, offer up your children onto the fire. They had the burning statues of Baal, and you put your baby on there, and it cooks them, and it smells like bacon. Because the people that own crematoriums say that they don't like bacon, and that the smell of bacon disgusts them because it reminds them of work. Because that's what a burning body smells like. Bacon. So you're not supposed... God said, do not offer up your children, but it's happening in so many ways. I mean, there's just so much. I mean, like, I want to, like, a lot of people are saying a lot of things about the denying the Epstein stuff, but what's underneath it is kids. It's the dead bodies of children that have been raped and murdered, and some of them who escaped and grow up. And if they talk about it, well, what do you know? They shuffle themselves off this mortal coil, like Virginia. Who probably, you know, Epstein didn't kill himself, and neither did Virginia. Probably. And Prince Andrew is evil, and he just publicly, openly said that he would kill as many people as possible. I wonder what it was like to grow up with a mom like that. You know, that was a queen. So it's pretty disgusting. I hope you liked this video. I feel like I need to do the whole thing over again to get it more succinct. But I did this video already, now that I'm kind of wrapping this one up. I did this video already, and then the more I thought about it, I thought there's so much more stuff I have to say. So I wrote it down, and probably as soon as I shut off the camera, I'll think of 5 more things that I would have liked to have put into this video, but, well, it was not my expected video for the day, but I thought, no, I want to talk about this, because they don't want us to talk about this, so, you know, it's just a Trump letting the world know. It's not really for us. He's denying it, but it's more of a show to them to let, like, no, I'm on your side, guys. I will defend you guys. The Diddy verdict, he got away with it, all this stuff. You see the timing of all these things. So, you know, strap in for whatever stuff whatever BAALSHIT they want to do next. Because I don't think this one's, like, people are just going to forget about it and go back, I just want to watch daily slop. How can you forget about this? It's like the biggest, most evil thing. It's literal child human sacrifice. And you can say, oh, it's just they're going after the girls, and, you know, no, this is huge. This is like a huge thing. There's so many kids that go disappearing. There's kids that go disappearing at Disney World, and some of those stories get weird. And that's not QAnon nonsense. The QAnon stuff was to lead astray. But when people try to dismiss Pizzagate and all that shit, that's bullshit. It was a for real thing. You can't just swat it away. The guy's name was James Alefantis. Alefantis isn't a surname. Do you understand what that means? It was never a surname, okay? It means I love children in French. And he had a cafe called Terrazol. Terrazol is a yeast infection cream and nothing else, but it also sounds like tear asshole, which is just like a gay guy joke, but he's a weirdo. And if you looked at the paintings on the walls of that pizza place, they're disgusting. Why would a pizza place have like decapitated children paintings and all that shit? That was all real. And, you know, look at, I don't want to accuse people, but did you ever see John Lasseter's secret room? He had a secret room with metal walls that was soundproof and everything, and it was all kid-sized furniture and stuff. And that was part of his office. I know they fired him from Disney because they said he was too touchy-feely, but like there's a video, you can see that video where he has people in, like he's doing an interview, and he's like, yeah, here's my little metal room that's like all kid-sized and everything, and then he just goes and sits in there to relax. Why does it have metal walls so you can wash the blood off of them? What the hell? What is that about? Maybe that's nothing. Disney with the 33 Club and all that. It's probably nothing, right? Yeah, I mean, it's weird. They're occultists. At its core, they are satanic occultists that are offering up sex magic by raping children in blood. Welcome to the realm of the shadow band. Wonder how many views this one gets. But a lot of people talk about this stuff, maybe more organized than me, but this is what I have to say about it, just kind of off the top of my head. Like I said, I wrote some stuff down. Like through the evening, I was like, oh yeah, what about that? And what about this? And probably at some point in this video, you may have already seen it, but if you haven't, the red shoes, my red shoes video is going to be in here. It's one of the few videos. I deleted all my old videos, and then I found out that what I still have, the red shoes video. So it's going in here. So if you've seen it, you've seen it. And then I have some slides that you may have seen already. So I don't know what else I have to say. The only thing I could think is, just keep in mind that this is really about kids, and that they're offering up these kids' lives, and it's sex magic. Do you know about Aleister Crowley's sex magic? You do the sex act, and the more of an abomination unto God that it is, the more the demons feed off of this fear, the blood. It's everything evil. Like evil preys upon evil. What's the worst kind of evil you can do? To children. What's the height of evil? Don't even let the kids be born. Sacrifice them while they're still in the womb, before they even get born. Pull them out of the womb and take them. Or take human embryonic kidney cells, which are kidneys from babies, and then put it in snack foods as a flavor enhancement. That's a for real thing that happened. All this shit's tied together. It's like the biggest scandal there is. You know who's involved in this? I said before I mentioned The Godfather, but maybe I didn't give a proper context. That's how this stuff works all over the world. Jeffrey Epstein, they said that Diddy was the Jeffrey Epstein of music. He was, and Hollywood and stuff too. And he's evil. The guy's possessed. If there's any chance to save his soul, whatever the devil wants, I don't want him to have it. If he thinks he's got Puff Daddy, it'd be great if God somehow, if the guy could even be redeemed for the evil he's done. That's not for you or I to decide. Only God is to judge. But Epstein was the guy that they got people from all over the world. They probably got like anybody you can name. Bill Gates, the guy who created The Simpsons. There was a story where the girl's like, yeah, I gave Matt Groening a foot massage on the Epstein flights. And Bill Clinton, of course, all these people. Like this is world leaders. This is entrapment. So all the Epstein stuff, to say that it was nothing, it's about entrapment. Like they entrapped powerful people so that they could influence and feed off of their, you know, like whatever it is, whoever they were, whatever they had. You get them in a compromising situation, and then you blackmail them and say you got to pay up because we have the video. We have thousands of hours of video of all you guys, so you got to play ball. And there's enough people in the club, so like, yeah, we all, you know, we're all in the club, and they go along with it. People get evil and they get corrupted, or they have to go along with it because they, you know, they got tricked and they did a thing, or they willfully did evil. And there's video and audio and photographs and all the stuff like we've seen with Prince Andrew in Virginia and all the other stuff that we've seen over time. Look at the guy from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Anthony Kiedis. When he won music video awards, he thanked Lucifer for winning. He said, "Thank you, Lucifer," with a lisp. And then he took his award, and he's dating an 18-year-old girl right now. Look at the age, look at videos on Hollywood age gap. Leonardo DiCaprio hangs out with the Pope, and when he's not hanging out with the Pope, the old Pope, not the new one. When he's not hanging out with the Pope, he's like Menudo. He has a cutoff. Nobody knows what Menudo is. He has a cutoff age of 26. Once a girl's turned 26, he's got to get another one. And I guess the next girl doesn't mind being that. That makes me think of all the Epstein stuff and all the things that they said that he liked, and like people going into his office and there he's being fanned and fed grapes by 13-year-old blondes and shit like that. It's disgusting. I mean, they made novelty shirts that Epstein didn't kill himself. They made novelty shirts that had him, they're like hip-hop style shirts, and it had a caricature of Epstein, and there's dollars and money and you know, dollar signs and bling, and there was like probably children on the shirt, and there were novelty tees. And that was after it was announced to everybody. People have been talking about this guy for years because he got busted before anybody even knew who he was. He was the stuff of internet conspiracy theories, and now we know that it's not a theory anymore. They're just saying, go back to sleep, forget about it. How? Nobody's gonna forget about it. All the movies suck. There's no entertainment to near, to hold, or amuse, or distract people. People are gonna focus on this. So that makes me think, what are they gonna try and do to make us, what are they gonna try and throw at the world to make us forget about this? Well, don't you let them. Join me in prayer. You know, you have multiple times throughout the day. In the morning, you know, get up a little early. In bed, stay up a little longer to pray to God and pray. We're supposed to, when we see these evils in the world, we're supposed to say, what's the trend of things? Oh, it doesn't look good. We're supposed to pray for help from God. And it did make an effect, because if you look in the Old Testament, he said, here's what's up, here's what I'm going to do to you, because they were so bad in the Old Testament. And he said, repent, and maybe I'll help you out. And he would give them a way out, he would give them a way up. But you had to tell God you're sorry, and you had to bring it to him. Hey, I'm willing to help you, but you got to call me. You know, leave a message on God's answering machine, as it were, is what it will feel like probably. But pray to God. Pray that the evildoers be exposed, shamed, and humiliated, and that they be incapacitated and unable to retaliate, because it's always a retaliation against us. You know what I mean? Like, we have prayer. Don't underestimate that. Because maybe it's the thing that makes us feel hapless and hopeless and helpless. But did you pray about it? Don't underestimate that. Don't underestimate having access to the most advanced technology that we will ever have made available to us, and that is a direct line to the creator and maker of all things. We have the ability to take it to God and say, help. And if you don't think that your stinky little prayers matter because you're nobody or nothing, just think about what the collective prayers of a lot of people. Maybe you don't think you matter, but you do matter to God, each and every one of us. And he doesn't want any of us to go to hell or to suffer. And yet look at the way the world is. Don't you sometimes feel like a pawn in a battle between God and his sons who failed him, and people got kicked out of heaven? Well, don't look at it like that, because that's not the loving creator that we have. Just because you don't understand it today, and I'm not explaining it to you today because I don't understand either, doesn't mean that I don't trust him. I do. It's horrible down here. So what are we supposed to do? Throw our hands up in the air? No, take it to God. Maybe you're even upset about it. Be careful what you say to God, who could crush you. But, you know, be honest. Say, Lord, I don't understand why it's like this. When is this stuff with the kids going to stop? He wants us to have friendship with him. But you got to get to know him. Because he already knows everything about you. And he knows what you're going to bring to him in prayer before you pray. But yet we have free will. So, don't let the power of your prayer be limited. You have the ability to be creative with your prayer and look at the situations and get specific and ask for help with this for the whole world. Please, Lord, make it stop. Like, let us live in peace and dignity. We don't know when you will return. We don't know what the battle of Gog Magog is, but we know enough that you've been here for 1,000 years. You've established your millennial reign where you ruled with an iron rod. And now Satan has been released from his bounds for a short time to deceive the nations. But look at what's happening. Are the nations deceived? No, because we know that it's not bullshit. And this is a thing that could unify, whether it's left wing or right wing, whatever you believe. Everybody knows this is bullshit. Or, you know, BAALSHIT. And if you do pray about it and you're consistent, then nobody can say that you didn't do that. You took it to the top. There's none higher. Try that. And I think that's about it. But it's sad. Pray for us. Pray for the whole world that this would come to an end. That somehow we could, you know, make the change that this can't go on like this. You're just gonna keep letting them do this to us? Take it to God. What do you got? So, it's about kids, and it has to stop. There's so many movies and so many TV shows and so many news stories. There's so many videos that people have made telling you parts of what it is that's going on. And, you know, I've heard this stuff for years. And again, you know, like my travel videos have it in there before. I was like, oh, it's just art installation stuff. That's kind of weird and creepy. And everybody that saw it on the street was like, oh, that's weird. What is that? Nobody was talking about red shoes and checkerboard floors. Nobody knew what the hell that stuff was. Now it makes sense. That was a long time ago, 2008. Now it makes sense. And we have all this stuff, all the emails and frazzle drip and all this stuff, whatever you want to think about it. Why is it so hard to believe that, you know, unscrupulous people that are willing to slaughter thousands if not millions of people for their power in different places all over the world, if they're willing to do this kinds of stuff, what makes you think that they won't drink the blood to get it? Or just get their own hands dirty? It's one thing to sit from a distance and have a whole bunch of children killed in Iraq and starve them and stuff like that. We look at Stalin and Hitler throughout history, how evil Stalin was, starving the Ukraine and everything like that. How many people was it? It was like millions of people, like 7-8 million people. He starved them to death. That was a long time ago, but then again, not that long ago. And you know, now we call it war, but it's also occultism. It's a sacrifice. You know, whether it's the Aztecs or the Incas on, you know, with a dagger on top of a stone pyramid or pillars or whatever, and they're cutting out somebody's heart and offering it up to demons. Well, it's the same kind of occultism when you offer up thousands, if not millions, of lives in a war, or using geoengineering to try and kill as many people as you can with the weather manipulation. Again, starving people could be one. Hey, just make it so crops don't grow. They said look, we know we have geoengineering because they said in the UK they want to block out the sun. If the rays are too harmful, we're going to block out the sun. That's already known for being a place where it's gray and they don't get enough sun, and there's always fog and mist, and they make jokes about people being potatoes and the food's awful and everything's boiled, and that they already don't get sun and they're pale and everything. So then they bring an influx of people from a land where they had lots of sun and they have dark skin, and they put them in an environment that's not favorable for them to live. I know that the women have security pigs now to protect themselves from the new immigrants, but you see what it is? They took them from where they were from and put them in an environment that wasn't favorable to them, and now they're taking away the sun from everybody. That's geoengineering and some other stuff that I threw in there. But it's a divide and conquer strategy. Keep everybody occupied with other things and make you feel like there's nothing you can do about it. There is something you can do about it. Pray to God and be consistent and persistent, like Luke 18, the persistent widow, the tenacious widow. And don't give up hope, and do not fear, and do not become dispirited, because that's what they want. They want people to feel like there's nothing you can do about it. Forget about it. And if you talk about it, you're a loser. Can't we just forget about this Epstein stuff already? It's Obama did it. It's Biden did it. It's nothing. Remember, I'm the good guy. They're the bad guys. It's not working. You know, and then they're throwing all the AI stuff at us too, which is, you know, that's just another thing that we have to contend with out of all the things. The destruction of 300 and however many it is, like 336 or 26 or whatever food manufacturing plants, that they're just destroying them. That's been going on for years since they put us in lockdowns. Yeah, this is evil being done. They want to offer us up. You got to think of everything that they do in terms of our leaders is they want to kill, like Prince Andrew said, they want to kill as many people as possible, but the part that should be added into that is they want to kill as many people as possible because it's a sacrifice. You know, when you go to the Super Bowl and Taylor Swift's being a witch, or Madonna says you're all participants in a Kabbalistic ritual, or when Katy Perry or Lady Gaga was playing the Scarlet Woman, they were harvesting your energy because you were paying your attention to them and they were putting on the show, and then they harvest your energy for their occult purposes. And when the celebrities make a devil's deal, then they got to pay up, and a lot of times they pay up with not just when their career ends and they're humiliated, but with their lives. Gotta be set. You had your fun, now time to pay up and get sacrificed. But they want to do that en masse. You can look to celebrities and see what they've done to them, but they want to do this to everybody. Like, this is what's being done. Like, they're always trying to get us to go along with, to contract, to go along with whatever evil it is they do next. Well, we told them, they know what's up. They didn't do anything about it. So let's just keep going. You know, they just want to keep on going. Just see if they can plow right over us. I don't know. This is a weird one. You're just gonna forget about this. Just think about all the poor countries in the world where kids are just rounded up. How many times Oprah went and rounded up kids, and you know, there's so much scandals about, like, Hillary and all these people going to places and rounding up kids, and you're like, what the hell are you doing? Where'd these kids go? They disappeared. What happened in Hawaii? How many kids, like 300 plus kids or something, were missing from Hawaii that they don't know where they're not accounted for? How many kids was it? Maybe I'm confusing conflicts. There's been so many of them where these awful things happen and they go in with aid and then the kids disappear. Where'd they go? They're children. It's like the most evil thing. Like, what's the most evil thing you could do? Offer up children. You know, whether it's wittingly or unwittingly. How long can we go along with this shit? It's disgusting. We can't go along with it. And I don't even know who you are. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've said enough. So, call your Father who art in heaven. Call your Father. Yep. That's it. I'm sure more to come. I guess I said a lot of things, but I'm at a loss for words. Like, you heard me repeat and stumble in different places. I'm like, yeah, I mean, this isn't just like, oh, let's watch the comedians' takes on it. They weren't really trying to be funny. It's not funny. Even the comedians know. You can see that they're angry, that they're frustrated, and as they should be. You know, because a lot of people did trust Trump, and now they're like, I didn't. I told you he was a bozo. They said there's too much predictive programming that the guy would be president. Like, if you have a Simpsons episode about you being president years ago, and President Biff and Back to the Future and all this stuff, I'm laughing about it, but no, like, there's a whole bunch of things that have been set up to just put these ideas in our minds. All this bullshit, like Back to the Future and President Trump. And then what do? They make these books about Baron Trump and time travel and all this stuff. Remember that? They put some kind of like fake psyop or whatever that is. Oh, look, it's a prophecy or something. It's bullshit. But they did do it. So, whatever that means, I'm not so up on the Baron Trump time travel novels that were supposed to be written like 100 years ago, which probably they weren't. But, you know, do a lot of stuff to mess with their heads. But one thing you can do if you feel like you've been messed with is just take it to God and say, Lord, it doesn't make sense to me, but I pray that you would intervene and stop it, and that the evildoers would be exposed and humiliated and shamed, and that they'd be unable to retaliate. Because that's, you know, right? You can't get their way. Like, fine, hurt them, do something, you know, drastic. At some point it has to stop. I don't know, maybe, you know, like at some point God returns, but what makes that happen? You know, for the final time, for the battle of Gog-Magog, when he settles that. Because we've already been through a lot. a long time ago. And I just don't know what else to say. I guess I'll just say, you know, as per usual, because I mean it. You know, Planet Daddy issue, call your father. I wish I could say 10 more things that, well, I pray, you know, I'd like to. I don't know if I want to make wishes. It's probably a bad idea. But I pray that, you know, that just because they planned all this stuff for such a long time doesn't mean that the power of our prayers to God are ineffective to make change that we need. The Lord works in mysterious ways, and He has all the power and authority. He talk about weather control. He can do whatever He wants to the weather. He made everything, and He made us, and we're subject to Him. But you know, start praying. You know, and as you can see here, call your father. So, bless you. Start praying. Don't stop. Learn how to pray without ceasing. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. I'm just going to keep going, I guess. I have to end it. Call your father. Amen.
When I was in Amsterdam in September on the 6th, 2008, I was traveling and I took pictures and video, and one of the things that was weird is like, hey, look at that building over there. They got all this pile of red shoes with the black and white checkerboard on the floor, and then look, they've got a pair of red shoes in a cage. That's weird, right? And then you see that the shoes are, okay, they're spray painted red. Okay, that's kind of weird, right? And then, you know, what I noticed was people kept looking at them. You know, like stopping to look. So you got, I don't know, some kind of graffiti or something on the door. But look, there's shoes in a cage. And there it says a sign, it says LLDC. I don't know, somebody's graffiti tag. And there's some tags on the wall there. And I don't know what this building is. Rob, who is that guy? Rob the Drawers. And that's all there's in the picture. I can't show anymore. So let's scroll back out. There we go. So I also have a video. Because look, here it is. Amsterdam, September 6, 2008. Right, how to make it play. Hold on, I gotta get it going for you. There it is, look. The people are like, what are they doing? What's with the shoes? Yeah, I don't know what it's about. What do you think?